Thank you, Golden Boy. I'm joined by Fraud after that successful first map here on the international stage. How are you feeling after that victory?
I mean, it's much better than Tokyo already. So for us, we're really excited that we were able to start off on our map pick. We changed some things around. So just really happy with the boys, especially the adaptations that we were making. Yeah, it's played really well.
Absolutely. So a strong start to this one. Next up is Split. That is your opponent's map pick. How realistic is a 2-0 in this series?
DRX is always a tough opponent. You know, it's very difficult to 2-0 them. For us, we just want to carry the momentum from this win and hopefully, you know, win 2-0. But they're always ready to go. So for us, we got to refocus ourselves and, you know, hope we pull through with the 2-0.
Well, I'll let you go and get ready for this next map. Best of luck. Thanks for joining us here. Back to the desk.
Thank you so much for that one, Mitch. Of course, always a pleasure to hear from the legendary coach Fraud. And, you know, I mean, yes, I think Fraud said it best, right? You just want to ride this momentum, especially after what happened in Tokyo. This is a championship team, Tom, that is looking to get to that top of the mountain again because, well, they've done it before.
Yeah, and that's the thing you have to bear in mind in this map. It's their map choice. They won both pistols, and they won the majority of opening duels, and we had multiple overtime. So it wasn't like that was a walk in the park. They had a nice, easy road through the game. They've now got to try and do this on their opponent's map choice, which will be much more difficult. But us.
He is the GOAT. He is insane. He was 7-2 in First Bloods in this game, and honestly, I think he just absolutely took over this map. It is such a pleasure to just watch his aggression into these rounds because the contrast between how, say, like Loud approached their attack half compared to DRX, I thought DRX looked more polished than them, actually. I thought DRX looked like the better team. But they didn't have the best player in the server today.
No.
That was Aspas.
Yeah, no, they definitely did not. I mean, how many times you're looking through these highlights and these rounds just came down to Aspas just finding something, anything. But let's not take anything away, right, from, you know, what the rest of the team was able to accomplish here. They obviously always find a way to put him in these positions, and Aspas is just great at being able to ensure that he is putting himself in that position as well. And the results kind of just speak for themselves here. Aspas absolutely diff buzzed that game. Statistically speaking, considering how close it was, though, quite bizarre when you think about it.
Yeah, and I think it showed all in all, the depth of DRX was definitely there. Like, they had a lot of cool little retakes. I think their executions were fantastic, their ult usage as well. But Aspas, it's very difficult to play against one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, and speaking of Aspas, by the way, fun fact, Aspas is 5 kills away from 1,000 kills at international events, which is absurd when you think about it. The man is a machine. He's incredible. We'll see if he could break it. I think he will, going into this next one. But it's time now for our Verizon high-speed moment of the match, and we're going to give it to our boy Cowanzine because fun fact here as well, this was the second time your boy was on Fade, ever, and he wasn't the best possible game, but this moment right here, I think, gives Cowanzine some life, especially this young player who we've seen light up the stage before, Sean.
Yeah, he came out the gate swinging in this game. But then he got quiet in that first half. I think he ended with quite a few frags, maybe like third on the stats page. He came up really huge in the OTs, a lot of dry peaks into the B site that I'm remembering. But that round right there, it didn't matter if he was playing Fade or Brimstone or Cypher. I mean, used 0.
He was blind. He was blind for half of it. It made no difference.
And what's crazy, too, is he was seeing where those tracers are coming from and corrected himself while blind. Like, these guys are insane. I love watching both of these teams play, and what a treat that we've been given here. DRX playing some phenomenal Valorant. Same thing for Loud. This is what we wanted to see from both of these teams in Tokyo, and now that we're getting it here, we're getting ready for Map 2. And Tom, there is a lot of pressure here for DRX to try and pick up this map win, force that Map 3, and then see if you can go the distance against the Brazilians.
Well, that's the thing as well, and the comp they run on Split is definitely a bit more of an interesting one if they're sticking to what they did before. We've seen a lot of changes, but Sean, they were running Neon. What are your thoughts on that? They're sticking with it?
They're running the double duelist with Neon Rays, right? That's what they were running in the past, but it looks like they went off of that. Yeah, it's gone.
They went away. They're like, nope, no double duelists. We're not doing that. Instead, we're actually going to get pretty much, okay, interesting. So double initiator for Loud there. They're going to opt to go for that.
Yeah, they have Aspas playing the Raze. I like these changes from both of these teams. I like
too.
the Breach coming out. I don't know about Killjoy, actually. We haven't been seeing a lot of her lately on Split, and when we typically see the Sentinels, it's Cypher more often than not.
Yeah.
So both of these teams picking the Killjoy against the Raze, they could be struggling.
It's an interesting one because a lot of the time you're going to have that Cypher, especially on that A site, having a lot of information, just basically watching in towards heaven as players look through. You have a lot of info on that whole site. You can lock it down and sort of switch things up in terms of your defensive side. So I am intrigued to see how on Split that Killjoy is going to be utilized as well. Obviously, lockdown's always going to be very powerful, though.
Yeah.
I think the key thing to look at here when you look at Loud's comp, they don't have the second controller for the A pressure, right? Whereas DRX did. They have the Viper they're running. DRX could run into some serious problems actually running A defaults if they can't have success in the first like 10 seconds of these attack rounds.
Yeah, and that's a great point to bring up that I think viewers at home and everyone in the arena should be keeping an eye on. How do they tackle this? How do they approach A? And then how do they try and like get themselves in these winning advantages here? It's going to be quite fascinating, but it's now time to jump into the action, which means we're sending it right back to your casters, the one and only Pansy and Hypoc.
Thank you so much. And again, when we looked at Split, Mike, the main thing that really excited us was that there was a very polarizing playstyle between these two. However, this is a different affair now. That comp switch up has caught our eye.
Yeah, the only time that Loud have actually deviated from the double duelist here was, week 1 and 2, I believe, running the Gecko. They've never run a Sentinel.
Wild.
On Split.
Right?
This year. So it's a big change up here from Loud. And potentially a bit of a curveball in terms of the prep here from DRX.
What do you do now? You've planned, you've prepped, you've considered that you're coming up against a very specific style, and that's a curveball. That's going to take you out of your game plan, but let's see if it's executed well enough to even be a problem. Loud on the attack, DRX on the defending side. First map is Loud's. Map 2, well, let's find out.
Stun actually does connect onto RB. Aspas desperately trying to pin it down, but RB with a right click will find it. And the explosion comes through. Stax finds 2.
Picking up where they left off. DRX looking dominant here. Less down pretty low, and Tui's desperate to find someone to punish, but DRX all in the right place. Beautiful work from RB already. That Flash gonna note where these players reside. Tara gets taken down, but no one going to take the bait. DRX playing patient, disciplined Valorant. We know them for, right? This is what they've been historically noted for. Less down to 13. And nothing lucky happened from this.
Trying to isolate Buzz in his corner, but just can't pin him down.
Oh, dude.
Potentially.
He's made a run for it. He desperately tried to get away, but does get caught up, so trying to do what they can here. This is a lot to ask of them, though.
Marco will be the first obstacle here with the spike towards Hell.
30 seconds left.
Trying to play in.
Yeah, Les is repositioned. Very risky. Oh, he actually found that headshot there.
Yeah.
A ridiculous shot, but do an awful lot of damage. DRX find themselves the pistol. Loud another round that echoes that brute force that we saw demonstrated on Lotus. I mean, Aspas gets so deep, but it's the Nano Swarm that really splits up the attack, and finally the right click comes through from RB. You can see there on the X-ray. DRX then have bodies to throw at the second wave of this execute. It stopped at the front door. I mean, Spike unretrievable at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Very committed from Loud.
And it really is what the doctor would have ordered for DRX after a very close game on map 1. Losing in OT can be a bit of a gut punch, but picking back up well here. That pistol under the belt in the second map. Certainly going to do wonders for the confidence, at least to begin with. Erase some of those memories just made. We look at how it really comes into this round. Sheriff, Ghost, odds and ends, but completely outgunned by the Bulldogs, obviously, for DRX. So they can make anything happen. It would be quite surprising. Maybe Aspas gets some godly timing, but you can see Heaven. It's got a lot of presence towards it. Oh, belting shot from Aspas.
You're not going to connect, but Buzz able to cycle the weapon across, so preventing any further value found off that pick. Now drifting back towards RB's setup here.
Yeah.
Information gathered on the back of the Nano Swarm being removed, but big gap to close here. RB gets ahead of the fault line.
Yeah, he's down low, but he should have support, but it's not there. It falls to pieces and Loud break towards the site. Yes, Aspas low, but he's got the Bulldog, and he can buy time with that. He can be a problem. And look at the positioning towards Heaven as well. Less in a good spot for this too.
Les is in a beautiful position.
The Flash should note it. You might start seeing him begin to find that impact soon. Buzz, those next steps could be deadly, and they are. Les gonna make the most of it. Gonna know Marco as well. He's overwhelmed and Loud. Flip round 2 on its head. Get rewarded with the weapons and prove exactly why they are so deadly.
Isn't RB able to get ahead of the fault line? Finds the first, but overwhelmed by the pressure from Loud. Aspas finding a beautiful second with the Sheriff. A thrifty conversion here.
God, that was so good from Les, though, just to make sure he's still focused towards CT. He doesn't get tempted to look towards site, leaves them to their own devices. Because again, if there was that freedom towards CT, that would have been 2-3 kills found, and that round would have been quite simply DRX's, so very well played by him. And now, kind of a flip of the script, right? DRX down on towards those Sheriff's odds and ends. Harder to hold here, especially on that defending side. Spread across the map. Aspas looking towards that ult as early as he can.
Be conscious of it's a possibility of DRX finding value off these Sheriffs. A slow, cautious approach from Loud now after that first exchange. Marco will be spotted on the jump peak here.
So far, they've been able to kind of withdraw the information of obviously one on pillar, that being Marco. Yes, they noted one either towards mid, be it vent side, or be it towards heaven off the back of the flash. So a little bit of info being put together. I'm trying to feel out if there is that stack there. Stacks going to be held back by the smoke for now. Takes a bit of a peek and loses life. Les.
The alarm bot gets put inside the smoke as well. Just
lovely.
No opportunity for him to retreat away from that.
It's a very patient
30
round
seconds
from
left.
Loud.
It is. We did see this executed on Lotus and a couple of concerning examples of it, but 20 seconds left now. You're looking for Loud to make a move.
Yeah, getting a little worried. They need that presence to make its value from heaven, and it's starting to fall to pieces. Zest's going to make some serious damage occur. 13 seconds. The plant should not be contested, considering how far away RB is. But it is RB.
Had a phenomenal performance on map 1.
Absolutely.
DRX's hero in some regards. Actually does get that. As it wasn't noted initially there, but Les will clean up. Now 2-1 to kick things off on split. DRX will come back in with the purchase now. Some key ultimates within touching distance very early on for Loud. Lockdown, showstopper, and also the cosmic divide. Stacks and RB potentially tested in the early round here. It almost looks like a little bit of a bait here. The fault line should set things in motion towards heaven.
Yep. And it's so pacey. We're at 130. They've already got towards that ramp control, eyeing up heaven. There's no subtlety to this. They're not being quiet. But look at the split. Still a default in play, a 1-1-3.
I mean, I doubt every time we see this alarm bot up towards heaven, I doubt we really see DRX commit a player towards ramp. Really suit them and have to respect the double initiator. Actually, I was going to say Zest does catch Sadak on the cross. Nearly slips the net.
That was so quick as well. But now identifying what Loud might have been trying to do.
Marco taking a ton of damage there, actually. Has to TP away.
Oh, they're playing with such precarious timing. Zest slips across.
Actually retrieved his poison orb, yeah? Able to reposition a little deeper now. That's so brave from Zest.
And away we go. Loud going to take the space that was given to them, though. Still looking to maybe end towards A, but the problem is that RB sitting deep. You still got one CT and the additional player, Zest, now sitting to be able to check towards heaven. RB's got to play this perfectly. Zest can't fall. Stacks has to hold the ground, spots the barrel. He's going to know they're in heaven. And now we're down to 25. This gets a little bit precarious for Loud. They've got to get a move on. They've got to clear that site. And Stacks is still standing, but for how long? He's got so many players coming his way. The cavalry is here. DRX bringing over the bodies, but look at the pressure from CT. Aspas already down towards it, but Buzz finds the spike. It's gone loose. Can he buy the time? 2 is clears towards heaven. 7 seconds. Stacks, can he play his life out? He has to try and stay alive.
Oh my God.
What a pickup! 11 HP and less than a second. What a bit of work!
What a ridiculous round. DRX again executing a similar game plan from map 1, trying to get ahead of these executes, prevent the spike from going down, punishing these late round hits from Loud. It's 11 HP versus 3 as this round concludes.
What a bittersweet moment for Aspas. That was his 1000th. That was the one for him, and it's the one that's not quite in time. Less than a second either side, hey, who knows, but Stax played it just perfectly. 2-2 now. Brilliant game in front of us. Now, ult's there for Stax this round. 1 away for Zest, 2 off from Buzz on the other side. Aspas has his ready. Less ready. Tui's ready. They are locked in for this.
Yeah, those 3 big ultimates we're talking about here in terms of the split attack. Marco going to smoke off. Seeker's invested as well. Loud looking to change the pace up here.
They've been rewarded. Zest goes down. Buzz held back by the lockdown, and Cowanzine going to be grateful for the space that he's been given. Aspas backfilling this, but once the fight dives on in, he's got it. Buzz now down. That's a 5v3 in a plant. This looks almost impossible for DRX to turn.
13 HP on Aspas, and DRX again showing that once this spike goes down, they don't really want to throw anything at it. Going to hold on to these rifles once again. He's only a Bulldog and 2 rifles, should say. Loud will find their 3rd. And what's concerning is if they do continue with just basically preventing or attempting to prevent the spike from going down, how quickly rounds can be decided by just early round aggression from Loud.
Which is so good for them too.
Yeah.
It's like you look at how compounding of a problem that actually is. I wonder if there is going to be a timeout to address that at some point. For now, they go hunting though. They want those weapons gone. Les going to claim the first. That's Stax removed. Marco, can he stand? Yes. Fully blind, obviously. Takes down Les. Desperate to keep that rifle. And he does.
So we've got a Cosmic Divide. Obviously, some ultimates invested here. So DRX not going to be able to string together much aside from these 2 rifles carried across. 1 off for Showstopper, though. It's a potential to maybe find a kill.
So where do I guess by all rights, Marco and RB have been playing opposing sides of the map, so that's one benefit for them to try and spread the wealth here, but what can Buzz achieve? Can he get himself ready to go with that Showstopper? Is that even a potential, or does Loud even allow it, right? Look at the pace again. Willing to challenge and willing to fight. DRX, 3 players in middle this time. Aspas the first to try and find it. Vulnerable, got to be careful. It's less to punish. Claiming Stacks and falling back. Buzz taken so low as well. DRX left in tatters. A shot from Marco. Aspas punished.
Beautiful adjustment. This brings us to a 4v4, but that rifle not recoverable. Loud was feeling like they've created enough pressure here to draw the rotation, but we can see otherwise. Still 2 members of, yeah, that's the thing. 2 members of DRX, 1 being Marco with the Vandal in hand.
But the timing could be atrocious, right? If he goes too far, if he gets caught on an island. They were completely unaware. Cowanzine just walking backwards into it. Buzz trying to buy a couple of seconds. Pain Shell coming in, but now they are down to 3 here. But look what remains. You've got to have RB in the position to find impact.
I was going to say, a moment there where you think Salak's considering the rotation. This is on DRX's side of this. Will spot Buzz.
Flashed up, slowed down. Zest going to try and get in. He's done it. He's taking down Les. Hold on, this could be turned on his head. They've just got classics. Surely not. Sadek now in a 1v2. This has gone absolutely atrociously. Player left, player right. He's got the spike, but only 15 seconds. Tries to spam through the smoke, and Buzz barely breathing, but still standing. So close. Up and over. He's spotted both. He's got him. Buzz. Nasty on the site. And what a way to make it up to this score being all even.
We saw in map 1 as well, a thrifty round being the catalyst for DRX. To string together, to find some comfort. This one was fairly ridiculous as well.
Absolutely.
Even with that, I think the punish comes with Cowanzine, I believe, just outside Garage. That trade comes through so quickly, and then, it's a classic in hand for Buzz with sub 5 HP.
Yeah. And now rewarded with all of those ults coming in. The pace, sure. Aspas trying to punish. And look at Buzz, he barely gets out of there. Gonna pop the Showstopper. It's gonna be a 1-for-1. Oh, he's got 2! Tell a lie! Buzz finds both. Aspas and let's go down. Marco's in on the action. And Loud, they're done for, surely. Yes, Salak's gonna get Buzz, but Okay, wait,
Hang on.
hold on. Well,
And they've removed the pit.
Yeah, wait. Sadak's made a mountain out of a molehill, and now RB is here, though. The saving grace from map 1, and he wants to do it again. So consistent, so valuable. Keeping DRX ahead.
This is crazy. What the Viper's pit comes in literally off the rip. Loud able to get bodies ahead of it, but the Showstopper finds 2 in the choke point of Mail.
It's ridiculous. What's that done to the money of Loud, though? Are they still got to buy here? Or?
I'm seeing how they actually settle here. Sadak still on 4K.
I need to blow something.
Yeah, we'll round this out with 2 Sheriffs.
Okay.
Gonna make something work, maybe on the back of these ultimates.
It looks fairly simplistic towards A so far. There is no default spread. This is looking like it is their end destination. 3 players already here. Stack's going to position towards CT as per standard. RB on towards the site. And then 1 towards those vents. You can see it already. Zest waiting poised. It's RB to draw first blood, though. Less going to go down. Zest eats the flash, but how is he alive? How is he alive? What? How is he alive? How is he still standing? No right to do that to them. And Loud have nothing to say about this. It's next round. I doubted him before and they almost turned it, but this one, so far out of touch. Position noted. Players on the way. He's about to be put to his grave. Huge round.
The follow-up here with a flawless round as well. The economy will swell for DRX. See an answer here from Loud. Well, they might actually call the timeout. This is just going to look, yeah.
He did just come out.
Literally, Aspas is still behind the wall. Yeah, Loud have called a timeout here.
Yep.
Talked about the Thrifty in map 1 being a catalyst to string together some rounds. That's already starting to happen here. Only 2 separating these 2 teams here on Split. After this, we'll have to see where the funds actually lie for Loud. So we'll be sitting on full loss bonus at least, with Aspas down at 100, and I think with Sadak's purchase coming through, really not far behind that either.
I'm just wondering what the answer is for Loud here, because the pace, I mean, they've tried that fast pace, right? It almost suits DRX to catch him in that. They've been really good at kind of mirroring it pound for pound, but then they can't punish those rotations. They haven't been finding... You need a pocket, Sage?
Don't we all? Relatable.
Couple of key ults, yes, but I'm just curious if there is like an overall answer for Loud. I don't think there is, like just that 1 gear shift, which can work against certain teams, but it's like DRX have shown their willingness to brawl, their willingness to get a little bit down and dirty, which is something they didn't really do before. Maybe their downfall on map 1 a little, but...
this is a contrast, so it's looking way more coordinated, I guess structured or refined on the defense here from DRX.
Absolutely.
And Loud struggling, really, to find a response to that. And this comp really bespoke towards enabling Aspas with the double initiator here. Oh, doesn't even need any utility. Walks up dry, finds that one. Buzz will fall.
He's going to be gutted with that Buzz. Does Marco do a similar thing? Tui's tempted. Marco almost caught there. Does get out. Now DRX have to be careful. A man down.
But the adjustment in a round like this, I mean, look at the previous approaches towards Mayo. It's been a stun coming through from Tui's, the fault line to set things in motion, a flash from Cow and Zine. A completely dry opener here. Catches DRX off guard. Loud now have time and space to work with.
God, they put in so much faith in RB. Maybe just the lockdown, the utility. It is just him. And Tui's...
Hang on.
Paranoid didn't hit. He's still hit. No target noted, and they pivoted. They're going back towards that B side that does have the vast majority of the players towards it. All going to come in. Marco could be forced out.
Dead.
He is screwed. How is he still alive? He's finally found. Back of the site cleared. Sadak's got Zest down. This is the green light. It's taken a lot, but it's perfectly coordinated. Plant going to come in. And the last 2 push very far back.
We're healed up, and no surprise to see Stacks. And, well, as I say, I didn't even spot Stacks still entertaining the possibility of showing some presence. RB a million miles away from this. But they've passed each other here. Les is going to have no idea about this reposition. Stack's being hunted elsewhere on the map. Now at least the information will go across towards RB, but shouldn't be able to find him.
No. Surely. I took pretty much everything that... Okay. Pretty much everything
There's
that
one and
Loud
two
had.
as well.
Yeah.
Kanzin's here. And the gap a little too large.
He's good. That'll be the rifle cap to close affair now. Loud, as said, using a great deal in that round.
But just to come back to that, in terms of what are early signals for DRX, that there's no utility invested towards this opener for Aspas, which with this comp adjustment, you expect it to be. For Aspas to just contact up mid and find that, it's potentially going to force DRX into deeper positions now. Again, if we have examples of utility being invested.
Well, a nice answer as an operator.
Yeah, I was going to say, Buzz can tuck a little deeper now.
Yeah. Now you have to use that utility to clear through, otherwise...
you shouldn't be contacting into mid now. As soon as this operator is revealed, Aspas still dancing with death here.
So confident. He's starting to respect it now by falling away, but he was willing to challenge for that second shot. Loud, again, similar scenes here. Taking over ramp control. We know it's something that they traditionally do. Buzz maybe looking to try and catch someone on the way through, but they've already fallen away from this.
And we mentioned previously, this ramp engagement for DRX is very awkward. RB will find less ahead. Stacks with the backstab as well.
Much more proactive, not allowing the likes of Loud to kind of determine how the round folds out, getting more involved. DRX matters to own hands. Now, Aspas still patrolling in middle. Still a chance, can't get it that time. Stacks outdoes him, left alive on 32, but still standing, leaving Sadak and Tui's with no real progress made. Buzz still waiting, back to target, back to the duty in middle. The flash is there, he knows there was an additional player. Forced off, fancies it some more, hold on, Sadak. Lovely shot.
30 seconds left.
Before is a large ask of any player.
You heard it, less than 30 seconds left now. Marco slipping back deeper towards B site as well. Making it harder and harder, yeah, just gonna look to hold on to this rifle. Less down at 900, but the purchase is possible in the next tier for Loud. Concede though, DRX will find their 6th here. We'll have to see what the adjustment is now, because it's going to force Loud's hand now to invest that utility once again off the rip. It's another curveball demonstrated here by DRX.
But can we just take stock of this beautiful back and forth game, right? Like, this is why this map, especially these two opponents in particular, are so exciting to watch. We've just seen this lovely approach coming out from Loud that worked quite well. DRX find that little bit of a counter, that later round, not completely late round aggression, but taking the space away from that they thought they had so freely. And now we have to see if there's that next step, right?
I do feel like DRX, even map 1 included in this, have benefited coming out of the adjustments. It hasn't been Loud. They've been constantly playing on the back foot.
Yep.
To try and recover, and that's even to say map 1 was 15-30 in their favor.
You should run.
Stacked up now for Loud behind this lockdown. All 5 members. RB wants nothing to do with at least pressuring towards the choke point, but they do have a lockdown of their own.
Okay, lockdown. Not going to find much, but it does open up chance, so they should be able to cross towards the site. Smoke should be still in towards CT, and it is. Loud still being diligent. Nice open plant for them here.
There's nobody up towards heaven here, and the concern being this lockdown will clear most of site. At least force them back towards main. It actually gets put on the left side of the screen, so an opportunity at least.
Denied. Should get taken down here. It
No,
doesn't.
there's nothing.
Okay.
There's no paint shell to follow up.
Oh, but Sadak going to catch RB on the push through, so there's still a little bit of resistance to this. Buzz trying to hold the line as well, going to backfill the space. Isolates one, sprays on the second, two, he's down low. Does Buzz still get another chance at this one? The smoke keeping them safe, but it's Aspas to walk on in, and Buzz obliterates all of them. Down to Sadak and just now less in a 1v2, halfway found. Oh, Marco! Dives on in, halfway achieved. He's got the defuse, and DRX have a 7th.
Absolute madness from Buzz. Comes swinging out with the showstopper as well. Denied, but Marco with a beautiful trade. That was absolute insanity.
Show this again. Oh, Buzz. Beautiful work from heaven. Yeah, Marco, look at this.
It's such awkward timing for him as well.
Oh.
It just slipped through Les's fingers.
What a game. This is the opening game, really, for these two teams. It's ridiculous. We're in the group stage. I guess this is Champions. Makes sense. 7-4 though, Buzz. Back on that operator.
Nothing available off the rip in terms of ultimates here for Loud. One off the showstopper. Aspas again toying with the idea of getting aggressive here.
But look at these two, just dancing around each other. It's so contested. Aspas waiting. He slipped a little bit deeper than maybe they expected. Does Zest get caught? No. And here the Sneaker's going on past. His position will be revealed. He has to get ready. Luckily, his teammate deals with him. But it does at least allude to the presence in middle now. First contact truly made. Angle's theirs.
Zest has got a backup judge though. Forced deeper by the paint shell, so we'll have to concede some of this space. But the setup is beautiful here. Buzz is that second layer, second line of defense, and actually Zest gets back into position with his judge.
Here it is, the operator to greet with a smile. Buzz gonna connect that one. Aspas gone, tip of the spear, blunt. And now the rest have to try and get past it. Juggling it on back through as well. Back up in case he needs it. The split's coming in and the judge is waiting.
Wait, hang on.
Avoids the sentence somehow. Les is alive and now there's problems. DRX could get crunched on this one. Marco goes up and actually takes the fight. Doesn't get affected by the flash. Gets to kind of readjust. Doesn't get punished on this. Now we're down to 20 seconds. Cowanzine and Sadak, what are you going to do about it now? Your options are dwindling and you're losing the fight. Buzz is going nuclear in this game. Marco's by his side. DRX holding this lead firmly.
Put on a clinic here in terms of the defense here in the first half. And come back to that same point. Loud, I guess, unable to really pin down one solution to how DRX have adjusted. As soon as this operator came online for Buzz, causing so many issues.
Yep. Gosh. What a fantastic first half already, 8-4 being that scoreline. I don't know what Loud can do here, Mike. I mean, they've got their work cut out coming back into this. I think the desk will be potentially talking this one through.
Thank you so much for that one, Pansy, as well as Hypoc. 8-4 as DRX is up in the half, and a lot of people here at the Shrine are quite happy about that one, but we'll have to see if Loud can bring this back. Now, that being said, I did want to give everyone an update. Aspas did it. 1,000 kills he has earned at an international event. The only player not in, what was it, Optic, I think, hold on, let me find out real fast. Fnatic,
DRX.
Optic, and DRX. The only player outside of those three teams to do it for a different squad of massive stuff there, and obviously you got to give flowers to Aspas for his incredible performance.
Well, I think he did it quicker as well, right? Because
yes,
they were playing at an earlier time. Loud came into the scene a little bit later on.
That's true. His first international game was in 2022, so that means, you know, like, not that long, you know, and he has managed to do something incredible. So once again, round of applause for Aspas for achieving that. But
you know what's funny, GB? They're gonna need more.
Honestly,
it's not enough.
With the way DRX is playing, they might need a couple more thousand. You know what I'm saying? Aspas, because they are actually pounding out there. And let's talk about DRX real fast, because yeah, Sean, I mean, this team is looking immaculate right now in Split.
They really are. Their utility usage, again, just like Lotus, is so phenomenal. And the difference is on Split, it's so difficult for Aspas to carry this team through on the attack half. I mentioned it. I thought their A control would be a little bit weak, a little bit lackluster. They came out the gate sweet. They got quite a few rounds early on in the first half, but they fizzled out. I think this should be their stronger half, but DRX, I mean, they have quite the lead going into this attack.
Was 5 enough? That's the question. Or 4 enough, rather.
4. I don't know, actually. I think a lot of teams nowadays are getting more rounds on that attack side. We've seen some very strong attack sides out from DRX in the past as well. I don't know. I think we might be going to 3.
Well, let's see how this one all shakes out as we send it back to your casters for the second half on Split.
I'd love this to go to 3, if I'm honest. Like, I think from what we've seen so far, it'd almost be a shame to not see it go the distance. But what I mean, if Lau can close out with 4, that would be spectacular in its own right. Mike, where's your mind right now coming into this?
I mean, I do want to see the adjustments built around less on the Killjoy here, how well they can actually, I guess, employ this to be able to anchor one side or the other and really take the fight to DRX. Yes, on the defense, but historically, that's what's looked great for Loud on Split.
DRX was so deep on the site already. This is a freebie.
I mean, this was Loud invested towards a trap play elsewhere on the map, so it'll be a full 5v5 in the post plant here.
That's dreamy for them. You couldn't ask for a better beginning. A little bit of util left as well. Buzz goes Pain Shell too.
But because it was a trap play elsewhere, tons of utility available for Loud on the retake.
And that's going to punish the players on the back of the side. Two of them caught there. Nice little bit of stall from the Nano Swarm coming in from RB, but how much more can they hold? They've at least navigated away that first layer of the util put in to facilitate this push back through. They're clearing through the site now, but they have not cleared the back of the site. Zest still going to get away with daylight robbery. Buzz is there as well, but the trade's going to be coming back and forth. Tui's still standing. Buzz, how is he evading this? How is he still alive? Finally goes down, and it's Cowanzine and Tui's in a 2v2 against Marco and Stacks, but look at the time. You can hear it ticking. Cowanzine, he does no more. He can do no more. The time has run away. They made it competitive, but it just wasn't close enough.
I'd be curious to see what happened. The fault line invested towards backside. I believe the aftershock also, but two members of DRX able to survive in that position. I mean, like I said, a trap play elsewhere on the map from Loud means they have all of this utility at their disposal, but it didn't feel like there was much pressure or value found off that at the start of that retake.
Well, I feel like even though they all kind of came through CT, that one Nano Swarm basically saved their
Yeah,
ass,
exactly.
Right? Like,
yeah.
That's wild. That one Nano Swarm stalled out enough, came out of the stuns, everything. They were good to go. So now that scoreline's looking even worse, right? Insult to injury if you're a Loud fan, if you're a Loud player.
Desperation starting to show. A stinger in the hands of Aspas to try and make something work.
Yikes. Not easy. Bulldogs galore. One rifle.
They can play range on this.
Yep.
Even if they don't identify early on. Deal with the turret. And no flank set in motion already. DRX have their sights set towards B. Tui's with a classic.
How long can he dodge and weave this already? The site's being taken over. A valiant attempt to take down Buzz, but again, DRX just overwhelmed massively. The other three still pretty far away, can't quite pounce towards the site itself. And this is where that range factor truly comes into play.
Yeah, classic Ghost and a Stinger. DRX tuck themselves into very comfortable positions now. That's caught. Yeah, headshot lands as well. Just a formality to clean up now. Just Sadak left standing. Only going to be Buzz, I believe, as the casualty. Sadak can find something on the exit here. No. Tagged up, forced away. Have to give it up to the spike. DRX now double digits found. And a 6-round deficit for Loud to try and recover. Very worrying. His first purchase needs to look phenomenal from Loud.
It has to be almost infallible throughout this entire half if they want to have a shot at this. Finding 10 so early on, dream stuff for DRX. But I guess this is the first challenge to pass, right? Can they be competitive here in the bonus round? That DRX come in with a decent purchase. We noted the amount of Bulldogs and just that one gone. So again, it's not exactly a bad buy coming in. Yes, Zest will be on to just that Sheriff, but with a buffer this big, you're willing to even get a little risky on this. You don't have to be too reserved. Aspas, let's get involved early on.
Trailblazers should clear the way for Buzz. Actually setting up for the paranoia up into Heaven here. Well, if the Trailblazer was intended to go deeper into Heaven, it would be a little bit of a gamble if they throw it out, but maybe slowing things down just to catch a heal. Aspas chomping at the bit here. The reposition, trying to greet DRX into Nail, but forced off the angle very early on, Lauren.
I'm looking at the pacing coming up from DRX, and it's just purely patient. They've given up a whole lot of space, but considering how deep that dog just came from, I think they're aware of how far Loud's control of B main is going to be residing. Now, where do they go with this then? Do they then turn attention towards A? Do they try and filter elsewhere? Don't fancy the odds towards that B site, and that looks to be the case.
40 seconds left as well. I don't necessarily have a solid understanding of DRX are making progress towards, and dealing with the turret here, as if that might have drawn the rotation. I mean, Aspas has come across towards the A side of the map.
That B main control is still going to be an issue.
They've got to stay alive, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, they can't challenge now. There's 0 point in this. They just have to play for that retake and make sure it's damn well worthwhile.
And good read from DRX as well. The plant actually on the spawn side of default. Maybe going to see them pivot or push even deeper. Zest punished, though.
Yeah, quick clear. And Zest goes down. Aspas, careful on the next steps, needs those next layers to come into effect. Cowanzi, Tui's need to become effective in this. He can't make through CT on his own. Marco gets dealt with up towards heaven. Another step taken, down to now the 3. But one of them is Buzz, and he's looking pretty deadly. Towards the back of the site, though, he's got to deliver on a massive amount. Going to take another with him, but now it's just RB in a 1v2. A tap on the spike and his commitment. It's going to be him trying to stick towards his less. He's done the damage. He got it to halfway, and he's kept Loud alive.
Just one rifle comes out of a round victory for Loud. Not what you want to see when they still have 5 to find.
We said it had to be meticulous, right? This was meant to be one of those almost infallible halves that one rifle remaining probably is not going to be enough for that, but we'll see how it kind of boils down, right? We've got the buy round coming in for DRX here. They're going to have that showstopper with Buzz. 2 away from the lockdown for RB. 2 off the Seekers for Stacks. On the other side, very close by for Aspas, though. Almost got that showstopper to invest off the rip. Early work, eyeing up that B site, but again, cautious, considering how we saw Loud starting just that last round.
Flash will confirm presence. Deep investment, actually, of utility from 2Es. Was negated here off the rip, and Buzz pops with the showstopper. Will clear sight. Loud have to respect this.
Yeah, and he's searching pretty deep with this, clearing through on CT.
That's a ton of information.
It's massive. That's going to allow the plant to come in. No one's going to deny it from heaven. The smoke's still in play. Marco gets to fall away from this. Still paranoid about middle, but you can see how late RB's playing this from Sewer. Very, very late. Considering how deep they cleared CT, that actually could be key to this when RB decides to strike. But Aspas going to get towards the side himself. Going to eat that sun, though. Slow down now. Marco, Buzz, Stacks. Again, the stall is fantastic here. Trying to negate all of that presence from the utility from Loud. They can't quite close the gap. It's messy, but it works for Marco. Stacks and Marco in unison, and they still haven't dealt with RB. He falls, but it's irrelevant, as Les would have to just go and clear everyone in the split second at this point. How much can one man do?
Hang on.
Simply put, not enough time.
Yeah, not enough time. Stacks does fall, but Zest and Marco able to slip away. And DRX are doing so well, like you said, stalling things out in terms of the retake, slowing things down. Loud unable to really follow up on the stun, the gravity well, the paint shell to clear out these tight positions. Marco with 2 huge kills as well to Kaunzina 2Es. DRX feeling pretty good about themselves here with a 6-round lead. Loud will pump the brakes a little bit, call a timeout. They're at a crossroads right now. Showstopper available, Seekers available, but the finance is not there to support this sort of position. They concede another without investing here. DRX on 12. Leaves no margin for error.
Yeah, do you go in for it now on a weird purchase, trying to make it count, or would you try and fight back from 12?
I mean, it's Loud. It wouldn't surprise me if they do, to be honest.
It's like there is a 50-50 in my mind, but a rough timeout to be had. I mean, even if you look at the trend of this half, 3 rounds to the 1, Loud haven't found their footing here. Now, if we talk about the success of the adjustments, then let's kind of roll it back to the start of this map, kind of discussing that both these teams, I think, historically had their own say in this sort of look that they come in with, very polarizing, yes, but so far, you've got to say DRX outperforming Loud substantially.
Yeah, and I think with this comp adjustment, you almost want to see Loud doubling down on what this is designed for. Well, it feels like it's designed for, which is aggression and proactivity, but maybe here 3-1 on this half, they haven't had a chance to really get a solid footing to achieve that, especially with the finances. So I wouldn't be surprised. A Stinger and a Sheriff to round out 3 rifles. A showstopper available for Aspas.
Look how deep Zest is sitting, though. Oh, he's seen him. He's like, hello. Aspas is going walkabouts again. What do you do with this again? Again, DRX, their defaults are so meticulous. They're very well drilled. Good work on them consistently. They're not a lazy team when it comes to
And it's another example of just a great read from DRX, anticipating what Loud want to achieve coming out of the timeout.
Might see the first row look towards the A side. We haven't been seeing them exploring it too often as their initial goal, so this could be quite a nice little glimpse. Seekers will be incredibly helpful as well towards Pillar, where 2 players are stacked.
RB one off the lockdown as well. That could be a huge tool in the post plant. They do have I guess a trap play set up here with the fault line. It'll
Yeah.
be denied here. Buzz has got ahead of it.
Yeah, Buzz is so far ahead. They have no idea of it. Marco not too far away either, going straight up towards those rafters. The perfect start. They find the first 2 picks. The site is clear. Didn't even need the ults to come through. Still had stacks there with those Seekers. Still now got RB on that lockdown as well. The other 3 are pretty far away. This is not pretty. What are you meant to do with this? You've got a Sheriff, you've got a Stinger. Yes, Kalanzine has the rifle, but finding the first, but you're going to be able to clear this corner? Maybe. Considers it. Looks towards Zest. Finds it. Hold
It's a
on.
3v3.
They're making a go of it, but can they clear the site here? Upgrade found and they're away. Kalanzine going to try and lead this one through. Marco was blinded for a second. TP's away. Got to get out of danger. Now there's problems. Evacuate the site. 2E's connects. Marco goes down, and now it's just RB! He's fallen! How on earth did Loud turn this one around?
That is outrageous. A 3v5 with DRX have all the comfort in the world.
They had a Stinger, a Sheriff, nothing to play with. And what a bailout from Kalanzine.
Who's had a very slow day so far, but what a time to come alive.
Look at this.
Surgical
Oh,
off the first 2. 2E's gifted the first by Marco.
the Young Guns giving them a lifeline here. The new blood keeping them breathing. But do they have the depth to go again? They've broken the buy from DRX with just that one.
Yeah, DRX rounds to play with. They don't need to risk an overinvestment. They have 2 rifles to play with, Zest and Buzz, the power players here in round 18. Almost to Loud's detriment, it gives DRX a round in hand to build towards what will be a snowball round.
Oof.
At least this ult cycle looking very healthy. The longer this is drawn out.
But the 2 big boys with the rifle up towards heaven, shoulder to shoulder. And they're very close by. Aspas can remove one. That's a rifle dropped out of Buzz's hands. Can't do much to retrieve that. That's fallen deep within the enemy territory. Still trying to look threatening towards middle, but really Loud are having none of what they're trying to sell.
Problem being as well, that kill comes through so deep in heaven. I was going to say, not retrievable. But Aspas has left the back door open. Kalanzine at least peeking the cross here. It'd be huge if they can retrieve that.
Oh dear. Ooh. 2E's.
Nearly.
Got a little nervy on that. Zest and Marco. Now Marco did pick up the rifle. And it is a 2v5. That's a lot to ask. Flash doesn't catch. Zest gets a second lease alive. Hold on. Hold on! Wait! This is Marco in a 1v2. It ain't over yet. Trying to bait it out just a little. He's got his TP and another one in pocket as well. Going to get closer towards this. Smoke just goes up. They have no idea where he currently resides. Do they consider the smoke? They certainly do.
No
They
way.
still go. They still
No
go.
way.
Marco! Marco!
What the hell was that?
That's a 2v5. 2v5 just dropped.
The response to a 3v5 from Loud. Marco with the Red Bull clutch here. What an absolute lunatic. And an absolute heartbreaker for Loud. Madness, Lauren.
What are you meant to do now?
And look at the knock-on effect here. I mean, a Sheriff, a Judge, a Bulldog in this round for Loud, but it gets DRX so close to having 5 ultimates. Buzz, the only one missing orbs. 3 away from the showstopper. Some big playmakers. Lockdown to clear a site, Viper's Pit to secure, Seekers there for information as well. Lots of options for DRX here.
Recovering it.
I'm barely recovering from that last round. I don't know how Loud are going to do here, trying to steal themselves, kind of calm the nerves after a devastating blow. And surely map 3 on the horizon. Surely we get that gift and maybe we get
drifted
a
into
brawl
this.
here. They're all on the other side. The flash goes in. Buzz comes out on top, at least with the first. The trade comes out for Aspas. Going to even the score, but they want to burst on this. Seeker's going to go in, but the Paint Show will deny the burst. Slow it down. But do they continue forward? You can see the temptation on DRX, but they're being held back.
RB actually with a chance to get ahead of Less there, but opts to slip back into ropes on the back of the divide being invested. Salak, is he
30
anticipating
seconds
this?
He looked back. He had just, but he's got a judge.
He's got a judge. Yeah, he's not challenging towards Vents.
He can. Oh dear. They aren't going to be able to clear him. Switching up to the classic, but maybe he can catch the cross. But it's all a fake. It's all a fake. The TP's come over. Plants come in, and now there's
swinging onto it.
He's denied it.
Spike down.
That's the
seconds.
plant denied. I don't know if they can get towards the side. They've got to clear through him fast. Zest makes quick work of one, but still towards the side we go.
gonna get
RB, is he again going to save DRX here? 2v3,
He's got lockdown.
Another opportunity, another chance. Man advantage for Loud. Surely you don't drop it again, but look at Stax' position.
Oh
It's
my God.
disgusting. Oh, it's unbelievable. Stacks behind them. They had no idea. And forced in the grave as just Tui's the last one alive. An absolute masterclass from DRX here, but they want to seal it now. The crowd is calling for it. Tui's got to get past the turret, but now he's got 2 more players to find, and the time is ticking. You can hear it faster and faster now. Map 3 is calling Tui. He's desperate to connect, but he ain't gonna have it. RB seals it. We're going the distance.
13-6 here on Split, Lauren. Let's start things off on Lotus with an overtime. DRX come bouncing back in map 2. And everyone for DRX stepping up here. A little top heavy on Lotus, sure. Firing on all cylinders here in map 2.
What an absolutely epic series we've got. Well, the starting group stage games between some of the greats here coming out. I mean, DRX put on a clinic in that map. There's no 2 ways to say it. And Ascent, wow, I cannot wait to even just consider that map's in front of us. Again, that's neither here nor there. Let's quickly look back at this. Mike, quick thoughts.
I mean, Buzz just running away with things on Split here, having a fantastic performance. And a number of times, DRX just able to apply pressure in rounds that we don't expect them to. Yes, we see them being a little passive sometimes when they give some rounds up, they give first bloods away, happy to save. But in the others, when they dial it up a notch, they look lethal today.
Yeah, that's terrifying. They look A1 and vicious in some of these rounds. Some of those individuals. Marco had the map of his life in this. Some of those clutches coming out were monstrous. Start to finish. I mean, it's basically his highlight reel, right? And Buzz was still top fragging. That's a wild part in this. Stunning performance coming out from DRX, tying up this series. And I can only tell you how good Ascent is going to be. You have to stick around. You have to watch that one.